What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, I'm your co-host, Donovan Quick. And with week 1 of free agency wrapped up, we're going to go ahead and give our grades for week 1 of free agency. We're going to start out with probably the most controversial signing thus far. Actually, new signing thus far. Dak Wilson, quarterback from the Broncos, was of the Jets, obviously, as all of us know. 1 year, $6 million, could be worth up to 10 with playing time and playoff incentives. My initial reaction is going to be like a lot of yours, which is, why did we do this? Like, what did we do? Like, we said that we want to address the backup quarterback position, and we want to bring in someone that is good, and when and if Tua goes down, he's going to be able to come in, not only know the system, but be able to deliver under pressure. Because let's face it, our offensive line has not been good for the past year and a half, and then for like 10 years before that. So that being said, we needed a quarterback that isn't going to fall under pressure, isn't going to be like, the lights are too bright for me. And throughout most of his career with the Jets, Zach Wilson did succumb to the lights. When the lights were that bright, he did succumb. Now, he did have a pretty decent last year with the Jets. Like, he had some really bad games, but he had some really good games. Like, he won the Bills game when Rodgers went down. He pretty damn close to beating the Chiefs. What other team? I think he beat the Eagles. Like, those are teams that were like really, really good, and Zach Wilson obviously was able to go toe-to-toe with them. So he has the potential. He has the potential. He is still really young. Now, Sean Payton was raving about him, and he honestly, if Bo Nix continued to struggle as a rookie, he might have been thrown into the lineup. A lot of you forget Bo Nix was trash the first 7 weeks of the season. Then he picked up the playbook and it clicked, and he just started balling out. Now, Zach Wilson did really good in preseason. Sean Payton raved about him, and in cleanup work during the regular season, he did pretty well himself. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this grade like a C+, just because, like, I don't think it's terrible, but I think we could have done better. I think we could have gone out and gotten Tyreek off the field. So, dude, I mean, this is another guy, like, a lot of his touchdowns did come on those deep balls, and he stretched the field. But once again, the dude is 6'2". He can high point the ball. He is good. He has good hands, and we need someone else for the red zone, because we have Jonnu Smith, who slightly undersized tight end, but he did great for us last year in the red zone. And I believe the statistic was Nick had more touchdowns, 9, than all of our receivers combined last year receiving. And I believe Tyreek had like 6, Waddle had 2. So we had 8 touchdowns receiving between our wide receivers, and he had 9. So this brings that extra element. You know, I said for the past, since Devontae Parker left, we need a big body receiver. Someone that I'm not going to be afraid to throw a jump ball to on 3rd and 10. And what comes to mind is the Texans game last year, where, you know, obviously Tyreek's hurt. He has a wrist injury. He's still actually wearing a cast right now. And Tua has to throw a ball up because he has no time whatsoever. It's 4th down. No, it wasn't even 4th down, but he just had to throw the ball up. I think it was 3rd down. He had to throw the ball up to Tyreek, and Tyreek came back and he tried to make the catch, and he was just too little, too weak to get the ball and secure it, and Stingley ripped it from him. That's not happening with Nick. Now, I'm not saying Nick is a better receiver than Tyreek. Don't twist my words. I'm saying that specific scenario, Nick is going to be better than Tyreek. He's going to be better than Waddle. So I love this signing. I'm going to give this an A+ signing. On to the next one. We're going to stick with the offensive side of the ball, then go defense. We're going to stick with skill positions. Alexander Madison. This one, I understood it. I I don't really particularly like it. He has some speed, but he is more of a power back. And honestly, this just goes back to last year for me personally, with us not letting go of Jeff Wilson. If we released Jeff Wilson, we would have been able to have Chris Brooks on the roster. Instead, now he's on Green Bay's roster, and he did good for Green Bay last year. And Chris Brooks, when he was here for his rookie year, he played a lot of fullback and hybrid running back. Like, he was able to do both. So with that being said, if we still had him, who knows? We might not even have Alec Ingold. And I love Alec Ingold, but I don't like his contract. I don't like Alexander Madison's contract. So we could have had a young, explosive power back that could do both fullback work, tight end work if needed, and running back work all in one. Chris Brooks was a monster, and we're seeing that now with Green Bay. And I really wish that we got a chance to see more of him in a Miami Dolphins uniform. So that being said, I don't really like this signing. And all of my mind just goes back to letting Chris Brooks go instead of Jeff Wilson, because Jeff Wilson would have also saved us like $4 million if we cut him. Obviously, right now, the only two running backs we have on roster before the Madison signing was Jalen Wright and Devon Achane. So I'm going to give this a D+. Like, it's not a terrible signing. I just don't like it. And honestly, with how deep this running back class is, especially for the power back part of it, if we can go and get someone like Damian Martinez or Dylan Sampson slightly preferred in like the second or third round, I'd be really happy with that. Obviously, we have other positions that we need to address, and we did draft Jalen Wright just last year. We could give him more of an opportunity. But, I mean, this running back class is just so deep that you can go and get someone in the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th rounds, and they're going to be instant producers for you. Yeah, so give that a D+. Sticking with the offensive side of the ball, once again, we're going to go with Larry Borum, our tackle. He's our new swing tackle. So I made a video when he first signed, and I've watched more of his film since then, but from what I've seen, he's going to be our new swing tackle. So we had Kendall Lamb last year, and he said before that season that he was probably going to retire, that it was his last season. Mid-season, he came out and said that he probably could play for a couple more years, 1 or 2 more. He doesn't know yet. And then he had that back injury at the end of the year that he actually needed to get surgery for. So his NFL future is in doubt. I'm not even sure if he's going to be ready for training camp, let alone if he's going to play at all. So Larry Borum comes in as our new swing tackle. He can also play guard if needed, absolutely necessary. And from what I've seen, he can hold his own on the right side. He is somewhat decent on the right side of the line. At guard, he's actually pretty good. He has very few snaps there, so take my pretty good with a grain of salt. But at left tackle, the man does not know his left from his right, apparently, because he plays left tackle like a right tackle. His footwork is abysmal. He gets pushed around. It's like watching Liam Eikenberg on that one play where he just got thrown on his ass. Every single play. Yeah, that his film at left tackle was horrible. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and give this a C+ signing. I don't know. I just feel like there could have been someone better to bring in as a swing tackle, especially since swing tackle means left or right, and he can't really play left at all. Given I know our concern is mostly on the right side because we have Patrick Paul for the left. But regardless, yeah. Not a huge fan of that signing, but it's decent. Here's the good one. James Daniels, guard, 3 years, $24 million. Great signing. He's coming off an Achilles tear. However, he has some great years before that. The 2022-2023 NFL season, he played fantastic. And you think about this. he was probably the third best guard on the market, and we signed him for less money. Or, sorry, that's not even the right term. The third best guard on the market, and the top 5 guards besides him were all signed to 60 to 70 plus $1 million contracts over 3-4 years. So we got him for 3 for 24, and then we have an out after the first year. If he is playing bad, he has no guaranteed money after the first year. It is an absolutely great signing there. I'm going to give that an A+, because look, he is coming off an Achilles tear. You're taking advantage of that. You're giving him a 3-year contract. Only 1 year is guaranteed. After that, he's not guaranteed any money whatsoever. All right, continuing on. By the way, that's an A+ for that. A+ signing for that. I don't care what any of y'all say. If you actually put it in the comments, but let me know what you guys think about that. All right, on to the safeties, because we signed 2 safeties. Obviously, we'd let Javon Holland walk. He signed a big contract over with the Giants. We signed, I'm going to really mess this up, Ifatu Melifonwu. I'm so certain I got that close to correct. All right. He's from Detroit. He signed a 1-year contract for $4 million. Really cheap. He is pretty injured often. However, the dude can ball. He is really good when he is healthy. So this is kind of like his 1-year prove it contract, and we've seen plenty of those, like Deshaun Elliott come down on his 1-year prove it contract and he balled out. Then he went and signed a big contract with the Steelers. We've seen this before. We've seen the 1-year contracts pay off. Now, I'm actually a big fan of this signing, mostly just because I feel like our safeties that we have now, Isaiah Johnson, Elijah Campbell, I'm not sure if Nick Needham's under contract or not, but I do trust our backups at that position. It's just a matter of how well he can play if he's starting. I'm going to give that a B+ signing. I do really like that signing. It's just, like I said, a matter of if he plays well when he's healthy. If he plays all 17 games plus postseason, God forbid, we'll see. Our next signing is Ashton Davis, safety, coming over from the Jets, 1 year, $2.5 million. Now, he started, I believe, all of last year for the Jets. He played pretty damn good for him. And he is most certainly an upgrade over Jordan Poyer. That in itself, for $2.5 million, I think we paid Jordan Poyer like $8 million last year. Yeah. I'm so happy with this deal. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and give this an A-, just because he is an upgrade over Poyer, no doubt about it. He can play special teams. He is a sure tackler. He attacks the ball with a purpose, which seems to kind of be Anthony Weaver's thing. Like he wants guys that just get to the ball. Our next signing, we kind of swapped signings actually. So we let Anthony Walker walk to the Buccaneers, and we ended up signing KJ Britt. His contract is to be determined. I don't know what it is just yet. But honestly, it's a slight downgrade from Anthony Walker. However, Anthony Walker, the past 2-3 years, has not been able to play all 17 games. He's always hurt. It's always soft tissue. And he is really good when he's playing, but in a position that we lack depth severely, we need better depth. Or we need more reliable people in the lineup. So KJ Britt gives us that. And like I said, it's such a slight downgrade. I'm going to take the ability to be able to be on the field over the slight betterness and probably 13, 14 games that come along with that. Yeah. We also signed Pharaoh Brown. Forgot that for the offense. He's a blocking tight end. He's going to replace Durham Smythe in that role. This is actually, I like the tight end class that we have this year too. So honestly, he might be just a camp body. who knows? I'm gonna give that a C minus because like I don't really care about it. He's not gonna have a huge role in this offense. He might not even make roster if we're being completely honest. All right, so on to the people that we have re-signed. Whew, y'all are gonna love this. All right, so Quentin Bell re-signed as our 4th edge rusher for right now. Actually, it might be 5th behind Muhammad Kamara, but honestly, he played decently well when he was in there. He's not gonna be a starter like he was at the beginning of last year because, well, fingers crossed at least. We should have Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Chop Robinson all ready to start the year. And Muhammad Kamara is going into his 2nd year. You would hope he would take that extra step and actually be better than Quentin Bell. Side note, he's actually really good friends with, like, him and his wife are really good friends with Tua and his wife. They've been posting all over social media the past few days. Just thought I'd throw that out there. D. Eskridge, we re-signed. Not sure what his contract is. Probably more of a camp body, but he did produce in special teams before he got hurt. So really did like that signing. Elijah Campbell, I just mentioned him a second ago. Superstar on special teams. And the dude, I have not seen him make a bad play on defense when he's in there. Like, I really haven't. Every time I see him in there on defense, like if he's replacing Poyer or Holland or whatever, he's like their 4th or 5th string. But he got 76 snaps last year. I don't recall him having a bad snap. He's always there on the tackle. He's always attacking the ball. He's always there. He's a sure tackler because of special teams. He has great recognition for like seeing where the running lanes are and closing that fairly quickly. And once again, that comes from special teams expertise. Now, route recognition and stuff like that, I'm not really a whole lot sure about it, but yeah. So Quentin Bell, by the way, C minus. D. Eskridge, C minus. Elijah Campbell, I'm going to give an A minus to, just because, I mean, actually, you know what? A plus, because it's a 1 year, $1.9 million. Like nothing. Now we signed Tyrell, Dodson, 2 years, $8.5 million. A plus. A plus. So we signed him mid-year. We got him actually off of waivers from Seattle because they cut him mid-year. He was a first-round pick, I believe, in 2020 or 2021. Didn't really work out for their system over there, but he came over here and immediately started balling. He actually led our team in interceptions, and he didn't get here until after the trade deadline. Like, put it in perspective. After the trade deadline, came in, led our team in interceptions. He had 3. Given 3's not a lot to lead the team. However, you think about it, he's a linebacker. 3 interceptions in 1 year is really good. 3 interceptions in 1/2 of a season is fantastic. So he seems to always be there in coverage. He has a nose for the football, which I really like. I just really overall like the signing. He was really solid when he was in there. I was like, at the beginning of the year, David Long was playing well, and then he just started to taper off. That Cardinals game, David Long, I wanted to rip his head off. And then Tyrell Dodson came in, and everything was sunshine and rainbows again. We re-signed Jackson Carmen. If you guys don't know, he's our like 7th string tackle. C minus. He might not make roster. He's probably going to be practice squad. I don't know. Now for the one that everybody has been waiting for. Liam Eikenberg signed a 1-year deal. It is not for $4.2 million. So whoever thinks it's $4.2 million, it is not. It is either for the league minimum or close to the league minimum. Now, there are reports saying that because of his shoulder injury that he was dealing with all of last year, or the second half of last year, I should say, that he probably can't pass a physical right now. Hence the reason he just re-signed with Miami for the minimum, and so he can work out his shoulder. Now, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't want Liam Eikenberg here as much as any of you, but for the league minimum, he has experience with the system. He has the versatility to somewhat play all 5 positions on the offensive line. And I'm just looking at this as a cheap depth piece. And I understand that our depth pieces seem to always have significant starting roles at the end of the season, because the last 2 years we lost so many people to injuries. I understand it. I get it. I'm with you guys. Before he injured his shoulder last year, he was somewhat decent run blocking. Before he injured his shoulder. After he injured his shoulder, he was nowhere to be found. Awful. His footwork is His quickness, His timing off the snap is horrendous. That's why you see him in those clips of him getting pushed on his ass. Is because his timing, he is so late off the snap, the defensive lineman just pushes him back. There was that one snap that I honestly, he got pushed into Tua's lap so quickly, I wanted to strangle him. I was there live for that game. I wanted to just Bart Simpson him. Yeah, it just... And the thing is with him is that he's not... Those games or those plays, they happen maybe once every other game, sometimes every game, but it's only like once a game, maybe once every other game. Like that's it. Those types of plays that he has. Other than that, he's always somewhat decent. Like, he did only give up 2 sacks last year, given a lot of that is because Tua just gets the ball out so quickly because he knows they're trash. However, he knows the system. He's somewhat decent sometimes. The problem with his bad plays is that they're game-wrecking plays, drive-killing plays, and then he just gets in his own head and does it again, and then he commits a false start penalty, then a holding penalty, and it just goes and goes and goes, and it ruins your plays, it ruins your drive, it ruins your game, it costs you games. You can't have that. You can't. So, am I happy with this signing? Absolutely not. Do I understand it from a GM perspective? Absolutely. Especially since they don't want to restructure Tua's contract. They don't want to restructure Jalen Ramsey, Zach Sealer, because each time they do that, it pushes more money down the line. Like, yes, it's going to free up a lot of cap space right now, but then next year we're going to have even less cap space, and the year after that, even less cap space. So they're trying to not restructure so they do not have to push it down further. I think if that one signing comes along that they need that extra $19 million, they're going to restructure Tua. But for right now, they're playing with pennies, and that's what they got. This signing, I'm going to give D+. D+. I can't give it an F just because of the money, just because of the experience he has there, his versatility, and I say that so solemnly, the versatility part, just so solemnly, because can he play left tackle? Probably better than Borum, but not good. Can he play left guard? Somewhat. Can he play center? No, but he can snap the ball and get it to Tua. Can he play right guard? Can he play right tackle? But yeah, I don't know. Overall free agency so far, I'm gonna give it a C. Like, not a plus, not a minus, just a C. Just because there are some really good signings in there, like re-signing Tyrell Dodson, signing Elijah Campbell, signing James Daniels. Those are really good signings to me. Getting all of those guys there. Zach Wilson, Nick Westbrook, and Keene. I do really like those signings as well, the more I think about it. Ashton Davis, just better than Jordan Poyer. All those kind of just make it like a B for me, and then all the rest just bring it way back down to a C. Let me know what you guys think so far in the comments below. I'm going to try to see if I can put a timestamps on this for you in the description below. So let me know what you guys think. Deuces.